And dude, I'm back. I'm back to the stream world, and as you can probably tell, wait, I'm not in full screen. Probably also tell that my computer is awesome. All right, I spent all the money I possibly could making it as good as possible. We were joking; it was like a $17,000 project, though that's not true. But it felt like that, honestly. And I've been working on it since May. You guys have no idea how hard this was. The very latest thing was I finally replaced the CPU because I'm like, oh, well, if I have the best graphics card I could possibly have, everything's fine. I can kill that stuff, don't worry. I was like, yeah, so great graphics card. It was a 7990. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's $1,000, you know, make the game work. It still did not, and that was back when I got Emperor forever ago. So I'm like, oh, current Emperor streaming. This is going to be really fun PvP. I get out there, I see like a flock of horses. There are no players on the horses. I see the horses, the people didn't render, and then it just said I died. I was like, no way, even with such a great graphics card. So, I'm not going to give up. I buy a CPU, a powerful CPU. It's so good, doesn't fit in my motherboard. Right? So now I have to buy a motherboard. I buy the motherboard, right? Another 500 bucks or 400 or whatever. And I'm like, okay, when I did the Bitcoin thing and I built like 18 computers basically, I broke 4 of them. I broke 4 of them, and those were expensive. Just you fry the motherboard by touching different parts, and it gets destroyed. So I'm like, all right, I want this gaming machine to work. This is back in like, this is July now. So I bought the motherboard, shipped it in from Newegg, took it to Best Buy, just paid their fee. I was like, just build this, just make it work, please. Solid state hard drive. It had 32 gigs of RAM, DDR3. It's like, just make this thing work. Put in a new motherboard. Like, well, you do have the full Best Buy plan. However, you put in a motherboard, that counts as a full build. So even though you already gave us the $200 for a year for any part that you need to be put in here, this is a full build. I'm like, all right, whatever, just make it happen. Come on, I want a game, I want to stream. It's been a while, and apparently I can't ever quit gaming. Like, I keep trying. Which is good news for you guys. I might play SWTOR a little bit. And just a quick tangent on my computer story here. I'm really working closely with Corrosion, who's going to be the Emperor. He's going to work on it, and he's going to be the #1 PvPer, just like I did in April. And we're going to take all the keeps together, we're going to fight, we're going to PvP in this game, and he's going to become an Emperor as well. So that's really something I want to see happen. But I think I will play SWTOR also. I want to, hang out with you guys again. But anyway, so the computer thing, right? So I get the motherboard. Gotcha. I take it to Best Buy, 100 bucks. And they're like, well, it's going to take about 10 days or whatever. Like, alright, just have it done. I know I'll break it. Of course I'll break it. Why wouldn't I break it? And these people are on the phone with me and they're like, who are you and why do you think you're going to break it? Like, listen, just build it for me. So 10 days later, I'm all excited. Well, BS Tiberius here is a good friend. I drive down with Corrosion to North Carolina. We meet him in person. So I can't pick up the computer the instant that it's done. So I go back to Best Buy when I'm finally up here again, and they're like, yeah, everything's fine, everything's good to go. I take it home. First of all, for a long while, oh yeah, I upgraded the case too, because I'm like, if I'm replacing the CPU and I'm replacing the motherboard, I may as well buy a whole nother computer case, right? Why not? So now it looks like a jet engine, and it's right there, it's sweet. I'll post pictures to Twitter. Right. So now I take it home, and I turn it on, and nothing happens. Nothing happens. I'm like, wait a second, why? Why would this happen? Now, the Best Buy guys were all impressed with the stuff I had from my last computer hobby time.
Yeah, what's up, Kak?
Of Bitcoin. Yes! Piccolo, welcome, dude! This is an exceptional stream, let me just tell you. And now that the whole Legion is here,
jeez,
right? This is just good stuff. This is just awesome. Absolutely. So for, I don't know, a long time, I was turning on the computer, nothing happened. I'm like, why did they convince me to put in my 1500 power supply? 1500 watt power supply. I'm like, that's too much. I had an 850 in the last one. So I bring it home. I'm like, it's just drawing more power than the wall can take. I can't actually turn on my supercomputer. So this is one of the reasons why I haven't been playing anything for 4 months, So finally, listen to this. Finally, there's like some bug or something on my wall. And I'm like, well, time to kill that thing. So I lean over. I don't even know if you know this part of the story. I lean over, I kill it, it's like a moth, and I lean on my computer, and it turns on. because there's a fin, a little fin on the top of the computer. It's spiked. Like, it's a jet engine. There's four of them on the side, and there's spikes on the top. And instead of actually turning it on, I was just pushing eject the CD for like 2 weeks. So I'm killing this bug. I lean into my computer. It turns on. I'm freaking out. I'm like, yes, the dream computer. This is the greatest day of my life. I'm like, it's working. This is awesome. And like, it works for like 5 minutes, and then it freezes. It's like, no, this can't possibly be happening. There's no chance of this happening right now. So I just keep on trying. It's freezing. Calling Best Buy. They're doing remote logins. It's freezing for the remote logins. They're like, bring it in. We'll check it for you. I'm like, you built it for me. What do you mean I have to bring it in again? This is terrible. They're like, bring it in. We'll check it for you. I'm like, all right, fine. So I take it in because they can't do the remote stuff. When they run diagnostics, they tell me that it's freezing in the middle of the diagnostics and that they can't tell what's wrong with it. I'm like, all right, all of these parts are brand new. You guys advised me on most of it. You also built it. What do you mean you can't run diagnostics to tell me why it won't turn on more than 30 seconds and freeze? So what they said was it was a messed up either CPU or motherboard, which was, I mean, just what I wanted to hear, you know? I was so unhappy with that, I took it to a different Best Buy, which of course took another week for them to do everything and tell me it couldn't turn on. Then I drove to Pittsburgh. So, another tangent here. My uncle passed away, unfortunately. I went back to Pittsburgh last week and took it there. I was like, maybe a Best Buy in Pittsburgh can fix it. And they said the same thing. They said, it's your motherboard. It's not working. So now I'm basically disputing it with Newegg, trying to get my money back for this factory defect motherboard. And I drove like just an hour to some random computer depot and bought the best motherboard I possibly could. And Corrosion and I spent most of all day yesterday building this machine, and now it works. Now it works. Custom built, everything I could possibly put into it, and I'm so excited, guys. I'm gonna play, I'm gonna stream, and we're gonna hang out. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be like old times.
Woo! All right.
Oh man.
That's awesome. This is
dude.
Guy inside.
Dude. Panda's leveling the Guardians.
Okay.
Panda's leveling the Guardians. This is excellent. Good job, Panda. I am proud of you, man. I did kind of drop the ball. And I do kind of feel bad about that, too, because so many people helped me with all those mats, and I got purple armor from, what was it, every 3 levels all the way up? And the only problem was, like, right before I was ready, or during the beginning of it, this game came out. Who's this guy?
I don't know.
Nobody,
I
okay.
think he's just questing, right?
But that's incredible, dude. You're going for the 8 Guardians. I think you should. And Cammy thinks I'm coming back for the expansion. But yeah, dude. Definitely looks